हेलो वेलकम एवरीवन वेलकम टू फिजिक्स वाला ओपीएससी वाला समस्त स्वागत। हेलो गुड इवनिंग ऑल ऑफ यू। am I audible to everyone? Okay, welcome everyone, welcome to physics वाला। आज जेमती हमें सब बड़े हमें always we have discuss the new topics। आज भी सेमती हमें will discuss with the new topics। आउ ता पूर्व हमें जानी की रखिबा ओपीएससी वाला तरफ रो हमर वर्तमान जो यूपीएससी रो जो प्रतिज्ञा दिवस चलची, प्रतिज्ञा दिवस ऑफर रे राइट वी हैव अगेन एक्साइटिंग ऑफर्स जोड़ा चलची हमरो। देन सर्व शिक्षा सर्ग सक्षम जो बैच दैट इज सर्व सक्षम 2.0 जो थरे तमरो अपकमिंग वर्तमान आसी आ चलची भी 2.0 टा तमरो चलची एंड प्लस न्यूली बहुत सारा कोर्स भी इनकॉर्पोरेट होची जो एथरे ओनली 3499 जोटा के एक्चुअल प्राइस जोटा तमरो पाखा पाखी 10000 जोटा के 4000 नियर अबाउट 60% फ्लैट ऑफर्स। Sampann AMIN batch that is also 6999 only 700 rupees, it's not right। and Anubhag Anubhag batch jota ki that is also 799 only 800 700। then Adhayan OSSC CGL that is also 699। Aakrosh OPSC batch that is also 999 only। and unit integrated batch that is also 2000 pakapaki 1999। so इतने सारा ऑफर्स जदि हमें देखिबा कि गोटे ये रे दैट इज ऑन बिकॉज ऑफ दिस हमरो जदि देखिबा कि इवन इफ किछि कोर्स ऊपर भी तमरो 80% तमरो ता ऊपर भी 80% भी तमरो फ्लैट ऑफर्स होची। सो वर्तमान जदि हमें देखिबा कि सब प्रतिज्ञा दिवस अवसर ऑफर रहल सो आई होप all this is proof to be beneficial one who of the course and make successful dreams। जो भी जिनस ऊपर फाइनेंस तो बहुत मैटर करे एंड इनफैक्ट समस्त एजुकेशन कैन एक्सेस टू ऑल एंड जदि हमें देखिबा कि समस्त ऑफिसर हवा पे गुटे स्वप्न था एंड डेफिनेटली फिजिक्स वाला तरफ को दिस आर द इनिशिएटिव्स टेकन। आज हमें देखिबा आज जो टॉपिक तम नोची दैट इज योर इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ हमें आज पढ़िबा जो थरे कि हमें मो सब बड़े भी कहे गुटे जिंस कि हमें जो भी जिनस पढ़िबा इट शुड बी जोटा कि हमर रहिबा दरकार जानिबा कोर्स ऊपर नॉर्मली दीज आर ए जो बैच रे हमर दिया होची दिस इज ऑल आर फ्री फ्री रे हमें जिनस गोटे ओवरऑल गाइडेंस दिया होची। बैचेस जोटा कि आरंभ रे वर्तमान सर्व सक्षम हो कि सब बैच चलची जो भी डिस्कस हम कले सेथे तमर ऑफर्स अनुसार तमर डिटेल सिलेबस अनुसार हमर पढ़ा हुए एंड अप्रोच भी सही हिसाब रे निया हुए राइट। बेसिकली जदि कहबे कि ज्योग्राफी एज एन इंपोर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट जोटा कि नहीं ज्योग्राफी आउ एनवायरनमेंट ज्योग्राफी एज इंपोर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट ऊपर जदि मु कहबे कि पाखा पाखी नियर अबाउट 20 to 25 क्वेश्चंस आसुची एंड जदि हमें देखिबा कि सिलेबस वाइज कोनटा एग्जाम रिक्वायरमेंट जेमति सबले मु कहे कि एनसीईआरटी पढ़ीबाटा गोटे बहुत जरूरी राइट। एनसीईआरटी स्टडीइंग एनसीईआरटी ओके कौन कौन रिक्वायरमेंट आपे रहइबो ए सब चैप्टर में मु तुम आज लिखि देबी कौन कौन जिंस हमर रहइबो मेजरली एनसीईआरटी पढ़िबा। एनसीईआरटी परे जदि हमें देखिबा कि योर ऑक्सफोर्ड स्कूल एटलस राइट ऑक्सफोर्ड स्कूल एटलस गोटे अछि ऑक्सफोर्ड स्कूल एटलस राइट ऑक्सफोर्ड स्कूल एटलस जोटा कि एडिशंस जदि हमें देखिबा 36th एडिशन 36th और 37th एडिशन जोटा भी तमे नै परियो 36th 37th एडिशंस गोटे रही परियो राइट 36 37 एडिशन रो ऑक्सफोर्ड स्कूल एटलस जोटा कि मेजर राइट। आउ जदि हमें देखिबा ओपीएससी पई वर्तमान जे सिलेबस चेंज हिची जी शिलोंग पढिया पई हम कोच योर सर्टिफिकेशन ऑफ योर ज्योग्राफी राइट ए तीनटा हला टिके बेसिक्स तापर क्लास रे फॉलो अप्स रहिले डेफिनेटली जिंस गोडा बहुत हेल्पफुल रहइबो। वर्तमान में जानिबा कि इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ रे जो ई चैप्टर टाइप सब्जेक्ट रो दिस आर बेसिकली जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी राइट। एटा बेसिकली तमर रहे कोथरे जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी राइट। जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी टॉपिक टा जदि हमें देखिबा कि जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी इज नथिंग बट जियोलॉजी टॉपिक जियोलॉजी टॉपिक टिकेटा डिफिकल्ट थाए बट आप रे टिके ओटा जो ओवरव्यू दोची बहुत सारा टॉपिक था इथरे हमें जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ योर तापर हमें जदि देखिबा कि अर्थक्वेक्स प्लेट टेक्टोनिक्स वोल्केनो rocks, types of rocks, पुणी तापर देखिबा कि तमरो weathering, erosion, landforms सब जिंस एथरे कवर हो landforms रे तमरो by rivers, fluvial erosions माने पानी रो, then your wind erosion here and the glaciers इत्ते सारा जिंस तमरो geomorphology रे कवर हो. Questions are very oftenly से माने पचारचोंदी, questions are asked from all these chapters. तो वर्तमान देखिबा कि interior of the earth रे हमें कवर करबे interior of the earth को जिनस नहीं कि केमती अर्थ रो भितर एमती केमती अछि. फॉर एग्जांपल्स जदि हमें जानिबा हला एठी मु लिखि दोछु को जिनस हमर कवर हबो तमर जानिया पे जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी जो चैप्टर टा पढिबा हमें हला जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी रे को जिनस तमर मेजरली एठी हमें फ्री क्लास तमर रहइबो जिनस जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी रे तमर जेमते एठी नेबी मु इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ, interior of the earth, then your ରହିବ earthquake, right, earthquake, then earthquake एठी रहइबो earthquake संगे plus plate tectonics, right, plate tectonics theory, then third रे volcano, fourth रे हैला earthquake, volcano, then weathering and erosion, sorry, then तापरे rocks ରହିबो, then that is your rocks and types, then weathering and erosion, weathering and erosion. Sixth रे weathering erosion परे तापरे तमर रहइबो landforms, right, landforms रे तमर रहइबो fluvial cycle erosion, fluvial landforms, then aeolian wind रे, then आगुटे रहइबो तमर ice, glacial landform, glaciers. ए तीनटा जिंस हमें एति की कवर करिवो वन बाय वन देखिवा, राइट. Good evening Priti, how are you? Good evening Smriti. So ए जिंस ओडा हमें कवर करिवो जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी रे. सो आज हमें देखिवा इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ, राइट. ता पूर्व रे हम कहले कि हमें जो वर्तमान पढुचंती कि जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी कोन, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय द जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी, राइट. क्लास रे जहां भी तमरो एठी कवर हबो जो सर्व सक्षम बैच हो कि सक्षम बैच हो कि यूनिटी इंटीग्रेटेड जो भी जिंस जो भी मॉड्यूल्स आसी से इथरे तमरो इथरे सिलेबस वाइज कवर हो. हां इथरे मु आगुडी जिंस तमन कहि दोची कि एई जो बैच अक्रॉस और यूनिटी इंटीग्रेटेड अछि, राधे राधे श्री राधे राधे. ओके, एई जो अक्रॉस बैच रे दिस इज ओनली फॉर द प्रीलिम्स. मन रखो एठी मु आगुडी जिंस तुमको हाईलाइट करछु कि एठी जो रहउची दिस इज अक्रॉस बैच, दिस इज ओनली फॉर योर प्रीलिम्स. बट यूनिटी इंटीग्रेटेड बैच रे इथे माने मु जति ओसीएस रो सेग्रीगेशंस कहउची, सेग्रीगेशन इन द ओसीएस बैचेस, राइट. ओसीएस बैचेस तमर कोन रहउची एठी बुझी दियो. एटा रहला प्रीलिम्स, एटा रहला तमर प्रीलिम्स मेंस, प्रीलिम कम मेंस माने प्रीलिम्स सरला परे मेंस टा आरंभ होबो. तापरे सर्व सक्षम बैच इज बेसिकली ए फाउंडेशन बैच जोतरे तमर पढेला बेले डुअल अप्रोच नि आबो, माने ऑब्जेक्टिव भी क्लास रे कराबो, सब्जेक्टिव भी कराबो बोथ. सो बेसिकली इटा तीन वेराइटी रहला ओनली फॉर गोटे हला प्रीलिम्स ओनली, हला प्रीलिम्स ओनली रे तमर हला इटा तमर हला अक्रॉस, हला अक्रॉस बैच प्रीलिम्स ओनली. देन सेकंड जदी रखियो तमे यूनिटी इंटीग्रेटेड, हला यूनिटी इंटीग्रेटेड रे तमर रहबो प्रीलिम्स देन मेंस, प्रीलिम्स देन योर ता परे रहबो तमर मेंस, राइट. या परे एटा रहबो. थर्ड रे जोटा रहला तमर योर सर्व सक्षम रे तमर रहबो तमर फाउंडेशन बैच, माने फाउंडेशन जोटा कि तमर प्राइम रे पढ़ा प्रीलिम्स. सो दिस आर द वेरी क्लियर कट ए जिंस रे मु तुमको हला डिस्क्राइब हला. अच्छा वर्तमान जेंति कहले कि हमें जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी ऊपर हमें जानिबा कोन और मु आगु धीरे धीरे कहबी सब. व्हाट डू वी मीन बाय द जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी? जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी बेसिकली जियोलॉजी रो गोटे पार्ट रे हमें जाउछन वर्तमान ए जो जिंस मु तुमको फ्री रे ए जिंस ओडा हमें जो पढुछन एठी. जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी द स्टडी ऑफ फिजिकल फीचर्स ऑफ द अर्थ सरफेस. नॉर्मली अर्थ सरफेस ऊपर जो फिजिकल फीचर्स रहे दैट इज जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी दैट डील्स ऑल दोस थिंग्स. फिजिकल फीचर्स of the surface of the earth and the relation to its geological structures, right? And the relation to its geological structure. कौन है परियो? Can anyone say? Sriya? Good evening, Khanna. Anyone can say that what do you mean by these physical features? What do you mean by these physical features? What are the physical features? Generally, it connotes to your Earth's surface. कौन रहे? Who can say? Which are those physical features? Physical features, we can say, physical features means your mountains, number one, mountains, right? Mountains, plateaus, right? Mountain, plateaus, then your valleys, lakes, right? Lakes or waterfall, let's say waterfall, cataracts, cascades, these are. So basically we can say this one. Yes, pranam, God bless you, Geneva. Okay. So normally physical features on the Earth's surface, on the surface of the Earth and the relation to the geological structures. Geomorphology always deal with those parts. How the mountains are formed, how the lakes have formed. There are different varieties of lakes in the world, we can say in India also. And we can say the plateaus, what is the significance of the plateaus? These are all, we can say, what is the difference between mountain and plateau? This is your mountain and this is your plateau. What is the basic difference between your mountain and plateaus? Right? Those things have discussed here. Geomorphology says in sort of way. Yes, land, hills, mountains. Yes, Bhavya. Land, hills, mountains, we can say this one. So basically, so how you segregate in between the your mountains and the plateaus? Mountains have different, they are having certain elevations. Does it mean that the plateau have no elevation? Yes, of course, right? Plateaus and mountains, they have the similarity is that one, that they are elevated, right? But mountains are more elevated than the plateaus. And what is then, if it is simulated, then what is the basic difference? Basic difference is that mountains is conicals, right? They are having the sharp slopes, where the plateaus, they are basically the flat plains. They're just like a table structure, table like a flat land. These are having the flat land. Plateaus are basically the flat land surface, right? Flat land, flat top, or we can say flat land or flat top, whatever. We can say flat land or the flat top. Right? Normally, what is the yes, plateau, valleys, lakes, river, waterfall. We can say yes, Bhabya. However, what is the difference between plateaus? Plateaus are basically the storehouse of the minerals, right? जोड़ा कि हमें geomorphology रे देखिवा आगु देखिवा. So geomorphology is the scientific discipline concerns with the formations. They are the scientific disciplines. They are concerns with the your formation and the development of the landforms. Okay, formation and the development of the landforms. That means the systematic study of how landscapes were formed in the past. Landscapes were formed in the past. Suppose, let's say I am talking about the Himalayas, right? I am talking about the Himalayas. Let's say talking about the Himalayas mountain. Let's say talking about the Himalayas, right? Himalayas is talked about the the orogeny means your mountain building. How the Himalayas mountains are famed. If we dated back, the Himalayas are were famed in the tertiary year period. That is geological histories. If we go to the geological history, then it is the tertiary period where the your Himalaya mountains have formed. In fact, what is the era? What is the era? Cenozoic era. Now we are in the Cenozoic era and the Quaternary period. But Himalayas are in the tertiary period of Cenozoic era, right? So questions are very commonly, or they have asked from this chapter, right? Geomorphology chapter 2. So again, that means the systematic study of how the landscapes were formed in the past and how they appear at the present, and how they can change in the future. We can say that Himalayas are constantly there, they are rising. The Himalaya mountains, they are constantly rising above. How? Because it again back to your plate tectonics theory, right? How we can say from the plate tectonics theory, it has been confirmed that Himalayas are constantly rising. So all these subjects these are all deals with your geomorphology, or the study of the physical features of the surface of the earth and relation to. before that first chapter में आज देखिवा हमें पढ़िवा, that is your interior of the earth. Just look at the map here. Any of us, can we know that ki how mane earth, what is the type of how the interior earth looks like? केमती हमें पाइबा the interior of the earth, right? केमती हमें पाइबा interior of the earth जदि हमें देखिबा कि interior of the earth, anyone say भाविया, can you say that one? Interior earth जदि हमें देखिबा कि how it looks, interior of the earth, right? केमती देखिबा how it looks. Can anyone say, if I segregate, how it looks? Interior of the earth, right? Interior of the earth. Can anyone say? What is these layers? What are these layers we can say? What are these layers we can say? Just a minute. Conical, plateau, tableland. Okay. So basically, we can say that जदि हमें देखिबा कि division of the interior of the earth's interior can be divided into 3 layers. That is your crust, mantle, and core. Very good. These are the basically we have segregate it as 3 types, that is your crust, mantle, and core. So among that, interior of the earth can be divided as your crust, mantle, right, and core. So among that, kota are 3 parts, crust, mantle. Yes, very good, my bad. So crust, if you go into the detail, what is crust? Where is crust? Crust generally we can say crust hela the surface. This one is your crust basically, and this layer is your mantle, right? This layer is your mantle. Sorry, this is your mantle. This person's is your mantle, and this is your core, right? Which one is more powerful among this? Yes, which one is more powerful? Crust, mantle, and core. जदि हमें देखिबा कि core is the one of the most heaviest. Okay, core is most heaviest. Just look at the again one picture I am showing this one. If you go in detail, this one we can say, right? Asthenosphere, upper mantle, lithosphere, these are the things. Let me go one by one, right? See, if we discuss as crust, just look at here, right? If go for the crust, yes, crust is the above of the surface. If I go for the crust, let's say talking about the crust, crust is the upper part. Like we can say there are 2 types of crust normally. This is the continental crust. This is your continental crust, right? Continental crust. This is crust. Suppose we are in Asia now. So Asia, Asia plate is there. That is your continental crust. Where it is? This blue dotted lines, these are your oceanic crust. These are your oceanic crust. Let's say crust are again segregated into 2 types. One is your CC, continental crust, right? Continental crust. Another is your oceanic crust, right? Another is your oceanic crust, right? Continental crust, another is your oceanic crust. So there are 2 basic difference we can say. Yes. Acha. Continental crust means, jodi hame dekhiba ki what is the content, it mode segregate korchi. This is the, what is that one? Continental crust, oceanic crust. Continental crust is your earth surface upare, right? Continental crust, this is your, we can say, the present continents are called the continental crust here. Okay, continents where we live. present continents, we can say, right? Okay. Then if you go for this oceanic crust, all the oceans, all major oceans of today, all the major oceans of today, all the major oceans of today. All the major oceans of today. Right? All the major oceans of today, that means your �𝐃, how many oceans are there? That is Pacific, okay, Pacific, all the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Oceans majorly, and your Arctic Oceans and your Southern Oceans, we can say. अच्छा, again crust जदि हम देखिबा, crust is the upper layer. again तापरे मु तुमको पढे तापरे गोटा गोटे हिंट देयर इज एन डिसकंटिन्यूटी इन बिटवीन, देयर इज एन बाउंड्री जोन्स. ओके, लेट्स से crust सरला, crust पर जदि हम देखिबा again your oceanic crust, continental crust, all the एटी देखिबा all the present oceans and continental crust, they are basically your lighter हला, they are basically तांका नेचर हला lighter, एमान हेले heavier. ठीक अछि. crust, mantle, core जदि एठी गोटे डायग्राम मु बनौ, it will be more clear than that. This is, let's say, this is your, let's say, I think एठी भल रहबा बेटर कले एठी बुझो. जदि हम देखिबा, if I draw the map like this is your, right, this is your crust, right, this is your crust, we can say this is your crust, this is your mantle, and this is your core. Again, crust is made of which material? Normally crust is basically crust is basically your sial. It is like this one, sial, made of which metal? Mantle is your sima, then core is your nife. Basically जदि हमें डिस्कस करिबा how these layers have been, what is their compositions. Continental, yes, continental crust have the density 2.7 gram per meter cube. Oceanic crust density is 3 gram per meter cube. Basically, continental crust thick, oceanic crust thin. Hello? Yes, we can say continental crust is your thick and this is your thin. How? Again, normally, bilkul, this is your sial, sima and nipe. Basic jinsa mein kariba. Sial, sima, nipple. Sial means your silicon. Right, this is your silicon plus and aluminium, silicon and aluminium, right, silicon and aluminium. Then this is your silicon and magnesium, and this is nickel and iron, right, this is your silicon and magnesium, and this is your nickel and iron, nickel and iron, right, this is your nickel and iron. So ए हिसाब रे हमें सेग्रीगेट करिबा सिलिकॉन, सियाल, सीमा एंड निफे, राइट, सियाल, सीमा एंड निफे. अगेन सियाल जदि हमें देखिबा कि सिलिकॉन एंड एल्युमिनियम एंड सिलिकॉन मैग्नीशियम, बाय नेचर जदि हमें देखिबा this is more heavier, right. जदि हमें in terms of we'll go for the जदि हमें डिस्कस करिबा crust विषय रे हैला, silicon is your sima is heavier because of presence of your magnesium. Magnesium by nature it is heavy, right. Aluminium by nature is halka, means I mean very light, and silicon is very light. So if you go to the mineral part, this is the segregation. That is why kahin ki हैला कि silicon by nature, that is your is very light and it floats upward. Okay, like your crust, amar jo arrangement is present continents, it is like this one, right, it is like this one, right, it is like this one. This is the arrangement, right, this is the arrangement. This is your ocean, this is your crust, this is your continental crust, and this is your oceanic crust. This is the major, right, this is the arrangement. We are here, right, we are standing here. This is your continental crust and this is your oceans. the present day arrangement is like this one. This is your land, right? Land, and this is your water body. Is it clear? Yes, Kana. This is your we can say ये जो जिनसे हमें जब हमें देखिवा कि this is all oceans और continents और oceans भितरे, right? Again, मो आसुची कोर को आसुची. So this is all about crust विषय हमें जानले, okay? Then mantle ऊपर जब हमें कहबा कि next second layer जब हमें देखुछ earth रे, that is your mantle, right? Mantle विषय हमें देखिवा. Mantle विषय जब हमें देखिवा, see this is the core. This is, just look at the map here again. Just look at here. हमें देखो जो excuse me, ये पानी पे. Mantle तमें देखो ठीक. Just look at the mantle here. Below the crust, your mantle is there, right? Below the crust is your mantle. Again, the mantle, जब हमें देखिवा, the mantle, right? Crust पर है ला mantle. Below the crust, your mantle lies. Below the crust, mantle lies, right? The mantle is divided into two parts. One is your upper mantle, and lower mantle. Upper mantle and another lower mantle. This is upper mantle and lower mantle. Just look at here, upper mantle and lower mantle, right? So upper mantle रे आउ गोटे part अछि, that is called your asthenosphere. एटी समस्त देखुछो, this is your asthenosphere, right? Asthenosphere रे जब देखिए what is the significance of the mantle, because asthenosphere रे present की अछि, that is your liquid magma. आज जो भी तमे volcano देखुछो, when the volcano it comes out, right? Volcano होची भाभे कौन लिखला, oceanic crust 5 km distance, continental crust 30 km distance, mountain 7 km. Okay, we can say that one, right? देखो detail रे मते कहबे, detail रे class रे, these are all again these are I am giving an overview. जब तुम्हें syllabus देखियो, suppose this class will take more than 3 hours, maximum 3 hours or 4 hours पाखापाखि नंबर टोटल ऊपर. बट एठी हमें जो भी जिंस तुमको गोटे ओवरऑल आईडिया दोछ, डिटेल जो जिंसटा सिलेबस वाइज जहां भी तमर रोछ टॉपिक्स विल कवर्ड इन द क्लास, आउ followed by your exercise and your regular question answer writing practice also. हैला फाउंडेशन बैच गुडा कर जदी नॉर्मली आंसर राइटिंग द फाउंडेशन बैच रो भी. तो एठी जो जिंसटा तुमको ओवरऑल आईडिया केम तुम एनसीईआरटी पढिबो, दोज आर हैविंग एंड गुड ओवरव्यू. अच्छा नाउ हमें भी मेंटल जिंस रे जानले कोन कि magma is present. एठी मु देखिली कि कोडी हुए the magma, right? The magma or जोटा हमें को lava, right? Lava is present, right? Is present at the upper mantle, right? Present at the upper mantle. Upper mantle magma or the lava which is present at the upper mantle. Upper mantle is stored with भावे लिखला सर crust upper mantle, asthenosphere mantle, lithosphere mantle, सब कहबी lithosphere and the lower mantle and the mesosphere, core bariosphere. Very good भावे, बहुत बढ़िया. It's very enthusiastic, very nice. Upper mantle and the lower mantle normally. So हम कौन लिखले magma or the lava, magma or lava present in the asthenosphere. अच्छा जेमति हमें देखु जंती कि वर्तमान last if I say the your Eurasian plate is colliding, माने Indo-Australian plate plus Eurasian plate is colliding. That means plates are moving. Okay, so plates are just move kurchi. How the plates are moving? How the plates are moving? Plates are moving because of your magma. Magma hi flow karuchi. Plates are moving because of your magma. Just look at here. Right? This is your this diagram. Just look at the. So magma, ये जो asthenosphere अच्छी, this is your capable of flow because your presence of your magma, right? Magma present here, right? ये diagram तो देखो मैं दिखाऊँ भी. आप पूर्वरु कौन हमें बुझले कि upper mantle magma are present at upper mantle and this magma see and this magma are responsible for the floating of the continents, So हमें basically कौन करने? These magma are responsible for floating of the continents or moving, floating or let's say floating or moving motions of the continent, moving of the continent. So ये जो continents थोड़ा move करते it is because of this magma. और ये magma टा अच्छी कोटी ये asthenosphere. Look at here, right? This magma is present in this asthenosphere, right? And this asthenosphere is nothing but present at the upper mantle. भूल रहे भी lower mantle मारी. If the question arises where this asthenosphere present, upper mantle or the lower mantle, it is your upper mantle. Mantle present, but it is in the upper mantle, not in the lower mantle. That's it here, right? This is the uppermost layer of the mantle. Acha. Puni again, it mantle agudi jinsa very important. That is called your lithosphere. Just let you look at here. Just you can find here. That is your lithosphere. Here it is one is given your lithosphere. What do you mean by this lithosphere? Again the question arises. What is your lithosphere? भावे लगे सर erosion plate statics but Indian plate moving करे result बिल्कुल yes, right? What is your lithosphere? Now the question arises. Very good भावे. It is your what is lithosphere? प्रथमे हमें जेमती कहू कि we are in the lithosphere. How? So normally केमती तमे define करछो? देखो जदि तुम ये डायग्राम देखुछो डायग्राम में कौन देखुछो ऊपर हेला तुमर कहीं समुद्र. This is your layer of water. This is your layer of water. This is your oceans, right? Of course, this is your diagram. This is your. This is nothing but your. These are your oceans, ocean water, right? This is your ocean. अरे पानी टा केमते रहउची? This is the water. Water is where it stays. Water stays on your oceanic crust. This is your oceanic crust. This is right. Oceanic crust again. Heavy, magnesium is heavy. That is what. So lithosphere कोडु आरंभ होइछि जदि तमे देखुछो your crust naked till upper mantle 100 km. Lithosphere is basically your cool surface of your upper mantle. Upper mantle जो cool, so this is upper mantle, uppermost layer. माने कोडि asthenosphere upper टा जोटा cool अछि. This is cool. Cool माने in compared to this one. Upper layer of the upper your cooler upper surface of your mantle means this mantle layer plus your oceanic crust. This 100 km thickness is nothing but your lithosphere. So we can write here बुझियोछि कि lithosphere it mainly consists of or mainly possesses the upper cooler layer, okay, upper cooler layer of mantle plus your crust. Crust is of course crust में गोटिए दो oceanic crust और upper part total plus crust that okay which having 100 km thickness as per geologists 100 km thick, okay, 100 km thickness we can say. This is called a lithosphere. How a lithosphere ta emti float it floats like this one, right? That is called your lithosphere. भाबे कौन लिखिलु एरोजन प्लेट स्टैटिस्टिक्स बट इंडियन प्लेट इज मूविंग बिल्कुल 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 जदि हमें देखिबा कि आगु को कहबी तुमको एरोजन केमती रहे अच्छा सो एति की बुझी हैला कि एई लिथोस्फियर एई जो आ परे त माने कहा पर रहला मैग्मा एटी तळे रहला मैग्मा ऊपर लिथोस्फियर रहला आ एई लिथोस्फियर फ्लोट करछि एमती लाइक दिस वन and because of this your earthquake happens normally earthquake happens since the plates are moving or drifting towards each other normally oceanic plate with there is a collision kaha bhitor हुए collision can be happen right collision कहाँ रे होबो collision जदि हमें देखैबा कि collision of the plates may be here तुमको आगु आउथरे कहबे collision कहाँ संग रे परिबो collision of plates right your that is your continental है परिबो continental संग रे परिबो oceanic ala crust plus continental है परिबो this can be two probables right two probables can be there continental oceanic or continental that is what so is it clear this part okay good next so it dekho this is your continental crust just look at here this is your continental crust how big this ones kette bod this is nothing but your these are nothing but your mountains right these are nothing but your mountains tame dekhucho these are nothing but your mountains yeah these are nothing but your mountains these are the root of the mountains root of the mountains sorry dekhucho tame root next अच्छा पुणी डायग्राम आस डायग्राम रे जब तुम देखुछ जस्ट लुक एट द डायग्राम सो वी हैव कवर्ड हियर योर crust आसला तमरो योर ओशियनिक crust continental crust oceanic crust then again हमें आसला upper mantle भितर asthenosphere lies in your upper mantle so एठी हम आगोटे जिंस कोन लिखि परिबा कि asthenosphere lies in your upper mantle so एठी हम लिखि परिबे आगोटे the asthenosphere right the asthenosphere lies at the upper mantle this is known we can say asthenosphere lies in the upper mantle this is not in the lower mantle asthenosphere lies in the upper mantle right upper mantle एठी हम जान asthenosphere lies in the upper mantle again next we can say the lower mantle एठी हम जदि देखिबा कि तमरो upper mantle this is your upper mantle now come to the lower mantle right this is your lower mantle right देखछो एठी lower mantle this is your upper mantle right upper mantle this is your upper mantle right lower mantle now again yes baby continent collision होछि plus oceanic भी collision होछि दीटा जगह right अच्छा lower mantle जदि तमे देखिबो lower mantle is basically जदि हमें देखिबा कि it is solid in nature हैला solid nature because of the heavy pressure तमे निजे भाबो तळकु the more you go beneath the earth तळकु तमे जते जीवो तमरो pressures okay heat and pressures तम सेते increase करी जीवो normally अच्छा एठी मुता पूर्वरु कहि दोछि कोर आसीबा पूर्वरु म कहि दोछि कि लास्ट एठी हमले एठी गोटे हम नोट जदि हम लिखिबा कि the temperature will rise 1 degree centigrade per 27 meter below the surface 27 meter below the surface right temperature तम rise करछि 1 degree centigrade 1 degree centigrade drop करछि hello PU yes pranam god bless yes namaskar how are you all thank you so much thank you Okay, so we can say this one ki the temperature generally drops after 27 meter. तो एटी तमे भाबो what is the diameter of the earth? Normally we can say the diameter earth, right? The diameter of जदि हमें देखिबा कि diameter of the earth, it is basically radius and it is your diameter, right? D is equal to 2r. Normally D is equal to 2r. So what is the radius of the earth? We can say what is the radius of the earth? Yes, pressure gradient. Yes, we can, normally it is called that one your pressure gradient. So normally it is a reason ki what is the radius of the earth? Radius of the earth is approximately 6,400 kilometer if you go. So then what is the diameter? Diameter of the earth, normally it is into 2, right? 12,800 meter approximate. So jodi tame etu bhabo ki जदि 1 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड टेम्परेचर तमरो बढ़ुची ड्रॉप करूची, if you तमे निजे मते की कैलकुलेट कलो, if you reach at the core, right, earth रो core रे तमे देखियो जदि, right, this is the core of the earth. तमे निजे भाबो कि जदि तमे if I take an sectional cutting here, right, sectional cutting, this is your r. So if जदि तमे देखुचो 6,400 मीटर जदि तमे तळु को जाउचो earth रो, then what would be the temperature? It is near about 2 lakhs, more than 2 lakhs degree centigrade. So can you imagine what is the condition of the earth interior? Earth interior condition kitte hot hito, how it is hot inside the temperature, we can say, right? It is how hot, we can say that it is your basically 1 degree centigrade per drop into your 6400 kilometer, 6000 kilometer, right? Just to imagine जदि हमें दोची 27 मीटर ताले केते रहइबो, 27 मीटर रे ताले केते 100 मीटर रे केते हबो? If I go जदि हम कैलकुलेशन करूची, जस्ट लुक एट हियर, 27 मीटर रे 1 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड टेंपरेचर ड्रॉप कला ताले हला, ताले लेट्स से इनटू 3 त माने केते हबो? प्रति 100 मीटर रे इट इज प्रति 100 मीटर रे कला केते 3.3 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. 1000 मीटर रे केते रहइबो, माने गोटे किलोमीटर 1000 मीटर रे केते रहइबो? पाखापाखि 33 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड, माने गोटे किलोमीटर तळक जदि तमे दाउचो और तमर 33 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड टेंपरेचर तमर बढ़ुची इनटू तमे कर दियो 6,400 किलोमीटर. सो कैन यू इमेजिन नियर अबाउट तमर जदि देखिबो 2 लाख डिग्री सेल्सियस तमर एतिक रोच. कैन यू इमेजिन हाउ इट इज? दिस इज व्हाट द कैलकुलेशंस. खाली एतिक जानि के रख कि आमे जदि अर्थ टेंपरेचर को जीवा हला इंटीरियर भीतर को, then it is too hot, very hot, we can say. So this is all about हमें देखिले. Now come to the core. Core is basically कुहा जाय कि it has been again segregated into two types. One is your outer core, another is your inner core. If you go this one, outer core and inner core, there are two difference, outer core and inner core, right? Outer core and inner core. आउटर कोर टा सब बेले मन रखि था गोटे जदि इनर कोर टा जदि हम कंपेयर करबा, इनर कोर टा इज मोर सॉलिड. इफ यू कंपेयर बिटवीन द आउटर कोर एंड इनर कोर, हला आउटर कोर इज योर बिट, आई मीन टिके लिक्विड टाइप रहता है, सेमी लिक्विड टाइप रो, बट इनर कोर इज हाईली सॉलिड इन नेचर, राइट? इनर कोर जदि हम देखिबा, सो इटी हम कोन देखिबी, so एटी में लिखि दोची द आउटर कोर, राइट? द आउटर कोर ऊपर जदि लिखिबा, द आउटर कोर, राइट? द आउटर कोर, द आउटर कोर is liquid, the outer core is liquid or semi liquid in nature, liquid or semi liquid in nature, outer core, right? Where the inner core is solid in nature. Basically it is your solid in nature. Inner core is solid in nature, right? It is solid in nature. So how it looks like, just tame dekho, this is your inner core, outer core, right? This is concentric circles jodi ame dekhiba ki inner core outer core bhitar, this is your inner core and this is your outer core, right? This is your inner core and this is your outer core. How it is solid in nature? Kemti solid है ना? How? Because of due to intense heat and pressure, right? It is due to intense heat and pressure. Intense heat और pressure रू इटा हला तमरा solid in nature. Basically it is solid in nature because of your intense heat and pressure. हला बहुत गुडे intense heat और pressure it is solid in nature. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल मैं कहला कि सर outer liquid magnetic field study रे help करे. बिल्कुल outer liquid we can say. So normal जदि हमें देखिवा कि outer inner core टा हला inner core टा that is your inner core is your right inner core that is your nickel and iron जो अच्छी that is your कौन कोई nickel एटी में कह दूँ nickel and iron nickel और iron है ना तुम्हारा basically they possess your जदि हमें देखिबा कि they possess your magnetic properties ए जो दीटा से माने they possess magnetic properties right so magnetic properties रो अच्छी होती कौन वर्तमान जेमति मु कहबी कि करंट जिंसोडा भी नहीं कि डिस्कस कर वर्तमान किस दिन तळे जो देखो 2 दिन तळे there was a news that your core inner core tomorrow gold baharuch of course these are releasing gold and as per your their study they know that one inner core your gold is through eject hoji. So basically because of this magnetic properties what happened because of ame jo bhi direction dekhu jo magnetic pole north south east west this is all possible because of this magnetic properties right the direction I mean jodi कहबा कि you know जो magnetic poles हमर जो भी अछि magnetic poles is possible because of this core nickel and iron right magnetic poles is possible like magnetic pole that means your magnetism or magnetic poles earth's magnetic pole normally कौन लिखबी earth's magnetic pole is possible due to core तमे देखुथो आ गोटे जिंस कोन एते हेल्प करे नेविगेशन कोथरे हेल्प करे क्वेश्चन धर तमर प्रीलिम्स रे पचाला मैग्नेटिक कोर कोथरे हेल्प करियो हेल्पिंग यूजफुल तमे लिखबो कि योर यूसेज और हाउ इट इज यूजफुल मतलब लिखबी हाउ it is useful normally how it is useful number 1 केमति रहइबो first ला तमरो navigation right first it is your navigation right navigation में helpful रहइबो को directions माने east west north south these ए जो जिंस गुडा इथर तो कोथरे आसीबो navigations पे helpful हो that is your right core is your helpful your navigation second hela navigation help करे second your magnetic poles right magnetic poles हमें जान लिया earth's magnetic pole भी इधर रहला earth's magnetic pole अच्छा third रे जेमति तमे देखथो कि छोटो छोटो चढ़ई you know the Siberian birds जो माने इत्ते दूररु they migrate from your you know Siberia and comes to your Odisha बहुत जगह आसंदी फिर India रा बहुत जगह से आसंदी how they comes because of this magnetic effect they have sense सेमानकर you know naturally तांकु सेटा sense थाए कि सेमाने को direction रे move करिवे right naturally it is sense that one so this is your जदि हमें देखिबा कि this is the effect of the pole which I mean even if the small creatures birds animals also they are very much effective because of this core right core so एठी हमें कोन जानले कि core रे जो nickel और iron अछि nickel और iron are basically they are important for your navigation purpose right or I mean magnetic pole earth plus your navigations so एठी हमें देखिले और निजे भाबो कि अर्थ रो कोर तमे एठी हमें कोन जानले जस्ट मु समराइज करछि तापर किछरा क्वेश्चन अल्प दिटा मु करै देबे राइट जदि हमें देखिबा कि हाउ इट इज हेल्पफुल जस्ट लुक एट हियर If you see here the diagram again here, first you see this is first it is your प्रथमे देखले कि your continental crust, right? प्रथमे देखले your continental crust पर कि अछि oceanic crust. Continental crust is floating over the oceanic crust, right? Floating कर continental crust काहेकि because of your Cl, silicon and aluminum हला mainly इठी continental crust है. Then जदि हमें oceanic crust आछन, it is your mainly सीमा जो थी सब बेले तमरा माने वोल्केनो होची एंड मैग्नीशियम बाउच एंड मैग्नीशियम बाय नेचर इज योर हेवियर. नेक्स्ट जदि हम आसीबा mantle crust पर, mantle is basically your that defines in two types, that is your upper mantle, lower mantle. और upper mantle रे जदि हम देखबा lithosphere जोटा कि पूर्व तो बुझितल lithosphere is basically lithosphere जदि हम देखबा lithosphere is like your 100 meter thickness जोटा कि तमरा cooler upper mantle surface जोटा हम लिखली cooler upper mantle हला upper cooler layer of mantle plus crust having 100 kilometer thickness सेटा को जाय तमरा lithosphere. आउ ए जो asthenosphere जो present अछि एटा upper mantle ले अछि हला ए upper mantle अछि which is capable of flow. Then next come to your outer core, inner core. Core is again segregated into two types, outer core, inner core. Out inner core tala mainly solid, and because of that it possesses your जदि हमें देखिबा कि your magnetic properties जो magnetic poles एटा धरे, then plus your navigations. ठीक अछि. Okay, question दिटा करिबा. एडी जदि तुमे देखुछ आ गोटे again अर्थ गोटे as per geologists they have been segregated. Core केमते रहउची, crust हला mantle. जदि हमें अर्थ को स्लाइस करिबा there is an equal हला. जदि हमें देखिबा कि गोटे सिमेट्रिक वे रे से बैलेंस हे के अर्थ हमर अछि, एठी जहा हबो जस्ट मिरर इमेज तार उल्टाटा एपटे. ठीक अछि, बुझी हला रे? इज इट क्लियर? क्वेश्चंस किछ करिबा भाब्या. Shall we go for some questions? You किछ क्वेश्चंस करि दोची. First question करो. The diameter of the earth approximate कितने? ABCD 4900 kilometer, 12000 kilometer, 12750 kilometer, then your 4800 kilometer. क्या कौन रहेगा आंसर? diameter of the earth कौन में नहीं परिवा? What is the diameter of the earth? Any questions? आ भीतर कौन हमें दे परिवा? जदि हमें देखिबा कि your approximate कितने थिला? This is answer जदि हमें देखिबा. Any questions? Anyone? Yes, Pihu. Answer जदि देखिबा it is your C, right? केमती? हमें जदि radius is equal to कितने? Radius 6400 kilometer. तो हमें diameter कितना है? D is equal to 2r. मोटी कोई थी 2r माने 2 into 6400 kilometer. That is your 12,800 kilometer approximate. 12,800 kilometer approximate. जोटा कि एठी पाखापाखि approximations we can say this ones, right? This is your approx molecule. Actually जदि हमें देखिबो, actually अर्थ रहला तमर 6371, right? से जो मु कहले हला actual जदि तमे देखिबो. Next, S wave cannot pass through which part of the earth? एठी को मु कहि देबी. Anyone can say S waves cannot pass through which part of the earth? S waves, secondary waves. किछ question आसला just मु तुम कहबी. Okay भाबे. S waves cannot pass through which part of the earth? Crust, mantle, core. S wave टा. एठी भी जदि हमें देखिबा आंसर कोन हे परियो? What could be the answer best possible? yes baby it is 12,756 और approximate जदि हमें देखिबा 800 जोटा टोटल ऊपर ठीक अछि 12,800 we can say roughly 6400 कुहा जाय roughly approximate कारण एटा तो एग्जैक्ट हमें कहि परिबोनी गोटे हाइपोथेटिकली नि होछि की कोन जाईछि भितर को हैला सेटा सबले मन रखथियो approximations माने पाखा पाखी S wave cannot pass through which part of the earth crust mantle core and viscera then your answer जदि हमें देखिबा it is your also C core भीतर देई कि S wave टा जाई पारेनी हैला कान्हा लिखला सर D both B and C no B and C हबनी mantle देखि जाए आंसर एटी रहबो तमरो C काहे कि S wave टा जोटा हमें देखिबो S wave टा जदि हमें देखिबा दिस इज योर core हैला mantle एट रखिबो जदि हैला ए पार्ट रे जदि देखिबा दिस इज एटलिकली योर क्रस्ट हैला एटी मु लिखली इट इज योर mantle हैला ए पार्ट टा दिस इज योर mantle दिस एटा हला ऊपर टा क्रस्ट एटा हला तमरो OC माने आउटर कोर हैला आउटर कोर आ एटा हला तमरो इनर कोर राइट दिस इज योर इनर कोर जो एस वेव जो आसे एस वेव टा तमरो एई पर्यंत एटु तमरो एई पर्यंत रही जाय आ जाई पारे हैला एटी एस वेव्स दिस इज योर एस वेव सेकेंडरी वेव्स ठीक अछि आ भितर को पसी पारे as for the तमरो स्टडी जोटा कि रखा हिची हैला नेक्स्ट एटा को the core of the earth is also known as lithosphere mesosphere barysphere centrosphere कौन को आजे the core of the earth कौन हमें कहबा ओके गाना core of the earth केमती इसो क्वेश्चंस बहुत सारा आसे डिस्कस करे जानि पर core of the earth lithosphere mesosphere barysphere centrosphere जेनी कहले सर it is your C we can say any other answer कौन को आजिबो C काना कुची C A C भीतर कंफ्यूजन रहउची बट सर P waves solid liquid gas बिल्कुल बिल्कुल भाभ्या वेरी गुड P waves ता जो प्राइमरी वेव्स अछि प्राइमरी वेव्स कैन पास थ्रू ऑल वेरी गुड भाभ्या प्राइमरी वेव्स जदि हमें देखिबा P waves ता तमरो सबुथरे देखि जाई परिबो P waves can cross through the total एपड सपोर्ट दिस इज योर P waves हला P wave can pass through your all P for your primary waves ठीक है P for ला तमरो primary S ला तमरो secondary ला S ला तमरो secondary it is the answer देखो it is your C is the correct answer A B D हबनी this is your barysphere correct answer is your barysphere हला barysphere हला तमरो total Banita equals you said it as your centrosphere no it's not centrosphere habani this is bull wrong hala this is your not lithosphere mesosphere this is your barysphere right next 4 number question karo the earth's interior has been divided into how many micro layer subdivision kette micro layer subdivision rahichi 4 5 6 7 भाभी जी आंसर दियो माइक्रो लेयर्स मु कहली C D केतरा हिची हाउ मेनी माइक्रो लेयर्स केते ही परियो मेजोस्फीयर वेरी गुड नो प्रॉब्लम ठीक है चेष्टा करो जते जते हमें भूल हेले हमें ठीक टा अधिक जानिबा देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम वी कैन से भाभी आंसर दिला 4 माने A एनी अदर भाभी जी आंसर दे हाउ मेनी माइक्रो लेयर्स की कहि परिबो एटा हाउ मेनी माइक्रो लेयर्स वी कैन से सब डिवीजन केते हो माइक्रो लेयर ने अच्छा आंसर इटी एनीवन एल्स जदि मैं आंसर देखिबा आंसर हला 7 D केमती देखो क्रस्ट दीटा क्रस्ट हला 2 देन mantle हला भी 2 अपर mantle लोअर mantle 2 कोर भी 2 हला 6 प्लस आ गुट हला तमरा एटा हला प्लस asthenosphere हला टोटल एटी जदि हम देखिबा plus it is your asthenosphere that is 1. So all total kete habo 6 plus 1 that is equal to 7. This is your correct answer. 6 plus 1 that is equal to 7. So total is your 7. One rakho. Total layer 7. Asthenosphere gote alga layer upper mantle segregate karai. Se jo gote answer thila kono micro layers. Civil service questions are more creative and se jinsa ro game dhariba. ठीक अछि? Okay. ला एटा देखो. এই question ने करो. The densest layer of the earth के densest layer of the earth निफे सीमा mantle और सियाल ये रहिबो densest layer of the earth निफे सीमा mantle and सियाल densest देछि कोन एटी question densest layer very good करना densest layer कोन रहिबो yes very good this is your answer is your निफे ला your core nickel और iron nickel plus iron densest layer है nickel है बहुत nickel and iron they are heavy metal that is why dense very good this is answer your देखिबा it is nothing but your core है core last question एटा करो this is the last question the plane of discontinuous surface of the outer crust or inner crust known as कोन कहबो कोन हमें कहि परिबा plane discontinuous that is between the outer crust एटा गोटे तुम कहि दोछ आ गोटे inner crust देखो के नि कहि परिबो discontinuity थाए सब लेयर रे गोटे as per geomorphology geologist माने कोन कहछन गोटे segregation कहछन that is an segregations ठीक अछि that is your एटी आंसर कहि दोछ this is your conar discontinuity right answer your conar discontinuity मन रखो ठीक अछि yes very good this is your भाबे this is your conar discontinuity कहंती this is your if we go for the outer crust la inner crust विषय है ना बाकी रेप्टिल हेमन गुटेनबर्ग एटा जदी देखियो देखो आज ये जो जिंस तुमको पढ़ा हला these are all गोटे हमर सरफेस आईडिया रहला ए जिंस ऊपर डिटेल जदी तुम देखियो क्लास रे it has been totally syllabus wise design हेची एग्जाम रे केमती क्वेश्चन अछि ताकु नेकी डिजाइन करा ता अनुसार आंसर राइटिंग प्लस क्लास रे रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस हिसाब रे से जिंस करा ठीक अछि so I hope this sessions will definitely it will be useful NCERT पढ़ो NCERT पढ़िले जेमते मु तुमको आगुर भी कहली NCERT जहां भी पढुछ न पढो your NCERT is mandatory right NCERT is जेमते कहली NCERT is your mandatory right that is your NCERT basics NCERT is always useful basics NCERT सबल पढियो स्कूल स्टैंडर्ड रा that is your always NCERT हैला then Oxford School Atlas आउ GC लो ठीक अछि पुणी काली देखा हबो we'll meet tomorrow again right thank you all of you thank you all for your presence and being stay with me thank you so much thank you everyone okay good night all of you take care we'll meet again tomorrow with a new topic right thank you so much thank you everyone thank you yes Bhabya thank you so much thank you everyone thank you yes thank you so much thank you all of you take care bye bye thank you